Good evening, YouTube. This is a video for Country Squire Radio. They are having a contest that ends on the 20th or 21st. I would have to look that up. Just wanted to make a video. I think they said you could just put a link on Facebook. Nobody that would get this video would get it on Facebook. I just wanted to say I'm not sure if country radio was the first thing that got me into pipes, because I would always search for podcasts that I would love to fall asleep to. Really, if you think about it, how much people need sleep and what they would do to get sleep. They'd do anything to get sleep. Good night's sleep. And if you have insomnia, which I wouldn't say I have insomnia, but you'd do anything to fall asleep. Just somebody to talk. Someone that's talking, you're probably listening to the first 10 minutes of it, really paying attention, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're waking up in the morning. A good night's sleep. But you do want something that you enjoy. So it used to be for me coffee, but the one thing I really like about podcasts that you can't get anywhere else, well, at least with my old phone, say YouTube is 10 minutes long, you don't want to have to keep hitting play, especially if you're trying to fall asleep. You need it. Like, I'm always looking for a 40-minute something or other, uninterrupted. And that's where a podcast really comes in handy. A lot of them are 40 minutes, usually at least half an hour. Some of them are even up to 2 hours long, depending on whatever. Really got into these coffee podcasts, and because I figure, you know what? I like coffee, and I want to know at least a little bit of something about coffee. What does a Colombian coffee mean? What does it mean to be a medium roast? I wanted to know those things because I enjoyed medium roast Colombian. So you listen to these podcasts, and they're like super passionate people that are the ones talking. Just got into coffee. I actually even worked at a coffee shop for a little bit. I still want to buy my grinder, which I have yet to do. But you always want things to look forward to. New levels. I feel like if you get to the last level, you are done. Or you're just not. Some people would say you're never going to get to the final level, if you're chasing that perfection. But got into, grew a beard out this winter, my best beard ever. Really my first, I would say, true beard. And checking out beards and stuff on Instagram, which was something new again this year. And you see, there's certain things that kind of go along with beards. You would have, I mean, stereotype, but you would have tattoos, and you would have manly stuff, barbershops, straight razors, maybe suspenders, that kind of snappy dressing, and then you would see the pipes would kind of fit into that world. Everything kind of shakes hands with something else. So I wanted to listen to a podcast, looked up pipe podcasts, and really only ever found one that I liked. Or actually, I think there was only one out there, which is the Country Squire Radio podcast. Got into it a few months ago, and they had a backlog of a year's worth of videos, podcasts, which is great to go back and just play them all over. Now, the things I like about podcasts are they're long enough. You don't have to keep looking at them. There's no videos to go with them, so you don't have to be watching your screen. This allows you to do other things. Through the winter, you would put on a podcast. I could put on the Bluetooth speakers and do some cleaning. Really enjoyed taking the dogs for a walk, listening to Country Squire Radio. My old phone, you could only play YouTube with a internet connection, but with the podcast, I could download it, hit the little cloud button, and it would literally take about a minute, so you didn't have to pre-plan anything. download my podcast, it was already in my phone, in my iPod, and be off on my way outside. And then I'd have this full show. I'm out. I think I'm out. But once you had your show, you could turn your screen off, so you weren't wasting any power there. You could pretty much run forever on these podcasts. You could even store them up, get a couple of them. You're going on a plane ride, bam, you got, it's like a television show, but you don't have to hold anything. That's another great thing. Didn't have to hold the phone in front of you, so just another comfort level right there. Put it in your pocket. You're sleeping. It's in your, off on the nightstand. You got your headphones in. Maybe you just have one earbud in. But these podcasts were great. They tell you lots of stuff. Kind of broke it down into one specialized, whatever would fit into about a 20-minute educational piece. I don't know what you'd call it. So really love the Country Squire radio. Get to learn about all the different blends. Like how they have their own shop. I think they're trying to say it's kind of like has a little bit of religious part in there, but you would never know it. Like there's just no pushing a certain type of religion. But they make it seem like piping is the thing to do, totally acceptable thing to do. Make you remember you used to see pipes in the cartoon shows that you would watch, all the Disney shows, and you go, oh yeah, I totally remember watching 101 Dalmatians and the guy was at his piano piping it up. Or that Merlin did have a pipe, which is a lot like the Hobbit wizard. Same thing there. I actually, they're a big fan of J.R.R. Tolkien. Reading one of the newest, okay, not new at all, book, and you just notice that he did a lot of things that are being done now, that people are getting credit for now doing. And I wish I had an example. I'm reading one about a little tiny dog. You would think it was for kids, but it's the way they word everyday life is a different perspective, and really great, just really good writing. Well, basically, I like podcasts. They're the right length of time. You don't feel like you have to watch anything. You don't feel like you're missing out because really there's nothing to watch. It's that well. You can kind of see it in your head. You learn who the two, Bo and JD, are really quick. So when one is talking, you can pick out their voice. You can go back and forth in your mind and know who's speaking. I like how they kind of have a standard, like a standard set. They always do a quick fire questions at the end. Talk about the meaty part of it in the middle. Do a little bit of what's going on at the beginning, and they always have a question that they answer. So it's nice that they have that kind of structure, although it's always different every week. And then they are super consistent on always putting out new content on Tuesdays, which is nice. And then they even started putting it on YouTube, which I am a fan of YouTube. They have a countdown clock, so if you go on, you'll see their video sitting there. Hasn't been played yet, and it says live in 15 hours with a clock. Then goes 14:59, 14:58. So you got the countdown of when. So you don't forget about it, you don't miss it. They encourage people coming on and hopping on the show, maybe get a question read, which they read a question of mine. I have to show it in this video. It was nice. They kind of connect the show with Twitter, which I'm not really a Twitter user, but when the show's on, I just recently hopped back on Twitter. But it's also on Google Hangout, so I think you can ask your questions live on Google. I think some Google Hangouts are where you can actually chat back via video, but I'm not sure if this one is like that. You have to sign into Google Plus. I don't know if I exactly have done that right, but it doesn't matter. Just fun to watch it, and knowing it's live, that kind of makes things. When they mention temperature of where they're at or what's going on somewhere, I mean, chances are it's going to be the same in your area. So definitely worth a watch. And really, their fans are they could use more. I think they're a little bit of a known in the right circles, but not 100% well known to everyone yet. So they're giving away a pipe, and from the looks of it, it looks amazing. They're also giving away a second prize and a third prize, which I think is cool, because one prize, I mean, you put 3 prizes, your chances just tripled. You might not be getting the awesome pipe, but you get to maybe try one of their blends that they really spoke up great for. So would like to try one. And if you win it, that's half the work's done for you, I guess. I don't know. All right, well, love podcast. Actually, was my favorite on my old 4S. Podcast was my number one thing. Now that I have the new iPhone 6, I'm finding I can get internet pretty much anywhere with going from 3G to 4G. So love my new phone. Makes podcasts even better. Makes YouTube even better. Makes everything even better. All right, have a good one.